Okay, I think I'm in video 8 maybe. Okay, so I just removed this. Literally, I pulled the tab there, and you'll have liquid behind a little bit radiator, you know, and it just popped out. So you'll go to the left, and there's up here in the corner where that circuitry is right there. You'll see it just goes to the left. That kind of, there's nothing that holds it on, but you'll kind of want to go pull it to the left. So I'm holding it right now where it just fell down because I pulled it out. So now I'm going to pull it out and show you, and I am still connected to the hose down here, which doesn't matter at all. However you want to do it. I just thought I didn't want to undo another clamp right now, so it's no big deal. So anyway, then you'll pull your mechanism out. So here's your pump. Here's my pump. There are a variety of pumps. So I'll just have to tell you, if you're ordering, make sure that you're getting the right pump, because there's 4 or 5 of these ML types. It looks like they experimented with a different pump every damn year they built the car, from maybe, I don't know, 99 to 20 something. But anyway, so this one has this pump, and there's your face. So basically that's what you're left with now. And on this, which is common sense, you're going to clean all the way around this edge where the gasket is. So you make sure you do that by just using some very fine 600 some grit that takes this down along this edge. Okay, make sure you clean that out with a fine abrasive steel wool, but don't get anything in here steel wool wise. You could use a 3M pad, the heavier green type. Whatever you do, you need to make sure this is sanded, not sanded, but I mean cleaned very well, because you can see the ridges here, and all those ridges need to come free so it seats itself back in here properly. So as you can see, mine was wobbling, and see the gouges in the metal? That's an indicator there. The whole thing was wobbling and whatever. Okay, so this connects to the clutch. And you know, it's part of the whole combination pump thing. Then now right here I have a wear mark, so if you got any burrs, make sure you clean these off a little bit to make sure you have no burrs. And then you're going to replace this gasket, and that black gasket goes all the way around. Okay, so you're going to get a new gasket with your pump. You just make sure that you put it in real smooth. And then all the way around here, clean that out. You're gonna have to sand it with 600 or something real fine. You know, you don't need something like you're doing woodwork. You don't need 80 and 100, and that's too rough really. You want the seal to take place with the gasket and the sealant material. So basically, once you pull this out, you'll clean it all down. Make sure you wipe it with a towel. You don't want any burrs or any kind of junk in there. And then on the top here, you're going to want to put a very thin layer. You're not talking about 1/8 inch. You don't use your thumb to do it. Very fine amount of the heated silicone, which your silicone is it's at 2000 heat, red, whatever, I don't even know what it's form a gasket. It's a liquid gasket. Comes in little blue tubes, red tube. You're going to want to get the red tube, and you're just going to go around here where the gasket sits, as you can see with the black. So if you follow that around, which will be disappeared if you clean it right, but you're going to go around the edge with a very fine amount, and I'd say would be a 64th, not maybe a 32nd, kind of like that. Something very fine amount. You're gonna go around. When you cut the tube open to put this down, the liquid gasket, you want to cut it at the finest spot on the end. You don't want to gum it up. You don't want that stuff going in here. You know, all you want is just around there, real fine. You use your finger, and you want to put a little ibuprofen or something on your finger that you can use a little fine, it's an oil, a mineral oil. You can put that on your finger. So what you do, you don't want to wear gloves. It gets in the way, it's goopy. Use a little bit of that mineral oil and then put that on your finger. So then once you put that 30-second all the way around there, liquid gasket, it's a red, it's a temperature red, it goes 2000 degree or something, whatever. Then you can spread that on there and not get it all gummy on your finger either. That will make it real smooth when you put this on. And like I said, it's just a very fine amount all the way around. Make sure you get it everywhere around the seal end, because of course once this pressure builds and all, then you don't get a good seal on your gasket. That's what helps you. But then if you miss or something's wrong in here, you know, if you don't get it well enough, then it will drip. And that's why also make sure you're tightening your bolts at a good count. So, you know, you're going to put them in, and then you're going to do some bolts here, and then you're going to do some bolts in the middle, and then you're going to do some bolts on the end. Don't do one end and torque it down. Put all your bolts in real loosely, and then slowly go like one down here and one up there, like you would a car bolt. One over here, and then one over there, and tighten them sort of by hand tight. One over here, one over there, one over here, one over there. Do it in an order, sort of like you do a car, you know, star pattern, because you do not want to torque it on one end and have this end not so tight and get goofed up with the pressure you're putting on the gasket and the pressure you're putting on the liquid sealer, you know, the gasket, liquid gasket stuff. You can get it at any hardware store. It's called liquid gasket, I think. And you want the hot one, the red, which is a thermal, so it helps with the heat. So that's all I have to say about that. It's not a hard thing to do, but if you went to the process of tearing this all out and doing this, make sure you get the ideas right before you do something wrong and these get it all back together and you go, oh my God, I got a problem. Use common sense. And that's why you had to seat the gasket liquid right and put the bolts on counter, you know, back and forth opposite, and make sure they're all hand tight before you torque them. Okay, and they don't need super torquing. You know, you can go to extra half a turn past hand tight. You don't need to over torque. If you ruin the threads, it will leak. It's under pressure and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, common sense. Maybe, you know, hopefully if you're doing this, you have common sense. They say today there is no common sense. So you have to debate whether you can handle doing something like this. But if you do and you just need a little information because you haven't done it before, there you go. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm on 8, and I think maybe I'll go to one more. I'm not going to go through the procedure of putting it back together on a video. So I might do one more just to show you what I did of cleaning these parts. And that's about it. So I'll be at maybe 9. So anyway, that's all I have to say. And I'll let you go at it. Have fun. I don't know, it's real simple to me. I've done so many cars. This European type is just slightly different. And I wouldn't say to any degree that's a big deal. So these are common things. And I would have shown you taking apart the whole radiator part, the front. But again, that all this is a little bit of plumbing. Of course, you got your high and low, your air conditioning stuff. So you're gonna have to redo that. Just take it to a tech. It's worth a couple $100 so they get seated properly. The liquid, the pressure get from the high and the low get done right, and you get your air conditioning back. But just in general, if you're gonna take it all apart, it's every step is worth it, because mechanics these days and everything, the cost with the parts that you have to replace here, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but you're not going to be spending $2-3 grand. Who knows what people are charging? You can do all this yourself. It's not crazy. It's not simple, but it's not that hard. So if you've done any mechanic work on a car, there's what I do with the pump. I'm making the video because I didn't see anybody with the bolt, and this car exactly. That's what I like to see too. This is Mercedes ML 320 2001. So this is the exact car, if you have it, that whoopsie, that show you you know, I'm showing you what I did with the bolt on the pump, mainly not the clutch problem and all that, because if your clutch spins freely, your clutch is broken on before, you know, right in front of the pump, on your fan, on the fan. So I'm just showing you about the bolting and taking off the pump and what to do about the pump part of it. So I had two problems. Pump impeller is you can see it's making a you know, you can see it in here. So that's smooth. I don't have any major damage or anything. So I had two issues, and so I'm resolving it all in one clip. Like I said, buy a new hose, your upper and lower big 2-inch hose, and then replace the few parts you need, because if you're doing a clutch, take off the pump. If you're doing a pump, potentially your clutch is going to have a problem maybe, so you might want to consider doing the clutch too, because it's all the same kind of situation in here, and it's not a whole lot more to just do it. The few things you need in one clip: hoses, and you know, your bunch of new things. Also, redoing your air conditioning might be good for you too, because sometimes by the age of these cars, you're gonna not want to keep putting your little cheapy $100 Freon shit at the O'Reilly in. You want to do it professionally and sort that out so you have proper air conditioning. It'll get better cooling, and it'll be properly done. And like I said, after 20 years, you might want to get it properly done again and get it tuned and set up professionally on your air conditioning. So okay, that's it for video 8. And like I said, I might be one more after I clean it out and I'm putting the pump back on. But that's about it. Okay, have a good one, YouTubers. This is channel Gold Team Money, by the way.